Hey guys, it's Mike the Wrestling God Smith. Here's what I think, guys, and this is my thought to the this is my thought to the Randy Orton match because everybody's talking about it still. Um, you know what? Like I said in my backlash review, if you guys check that out, I don't think it delivered. I don't think it delivered. Why I say that? Because there's so much they could have did with this, and I feel like they should have pushed this 15 years earlier, 4 years ago, when Edge was retiring, and that's the thing. And I think that's why they didn't push it. I think I really think it should have been his retirement match. I think they should have gave him one. I think it should have been pushed 15 years earlier. I really do. Or it should have been at WrestleMania. This WrestleMania that passed. And I just feel like the build wasn't what it was supposed to be. And I just couldn't do it. Because even with Orton just winning the match clean, and he did win the match clean, he didn't do any disqualification stuff. He didn't do a lot. I just feel that this thing did not work with today. I just don't. Because like I said, you guys can hate me for saying this, but Wrestling Observer, and like I've said a bunch of times, with matches like these, when you have a fantastic rivalry like this, when you have people that are larger than life icons, when you had Andre and Hogan, you had HBK versus Undertaker, you had Triple H. Yeah, I did. It's only for the $3 thing is only for like certain games. Yeah, that's more from Mike and Ashley. Like I said, guys, it this thing should have happened. This greatest match ever thing should have happened a while back. Because I feel like here's the thing about Edge and Orton that I feel like it should have been dealt with differently. Because if Edge wasn't let's just say if Edge wasn't injured as much as he was, I think he probably would have been fine. I think that he probably would have I think that he probably would have gotten what he wanted from it. Because the thing is, like, Edge and Orton have a weird like rivalry in general. Because this dude literally came from he literally came from being in like WCW and then being in WWE, and I feel like I feel like there's a lot of stuff going on, and this is the things that should have happened with Randy because Randy always has this thing where he has to face the best of the best. And I feel like Randy should have gotten the same thing. I feel like Randy and Triple H should have been the same thing at WrestleMania or even at Super Showdown, which really didn't make any sense at all. And I feel the way I feel about it because it's weird. It's weird because we get the same problems, and I just feel like we're not. I feel like it's just not the same. I feel like we this is the thing with the Randy and Orton thing. I didn't mind the camera angles. I didn't mind that, but I felt like the canned audience, which didn't work, which I felt like that was just something to just give a little bit of a sprinkle. And I'm just like, you know what? Even if Ed should have won, and I'm not mad that he lost, I'm just mad at the fact that it took him this long to do this type of thing. And I know it wasn't Triple H's booking. I know it was Vince's thing because Vince loves Edge and Vince doesn't loves Randy Orton at the same time. But I'm telling you, it's literally the same. It's literally the same thing that he should have got. And I'm just like, you know what? I feel like what the thing is like, what's next for Edge, and that's the thing about it. And I'm just like, you know what? Maybe he'll come out, he'll do the retirement thing. He's already a Hall of Famer. He doesn't need to. He doesn't need to do it. He can keep going as much as he can, just like Mark Henry. He'll just keep doing it. And I think he doesn't know. I think that I really think this thing should have worked out better. If Hal Finkel was actually there, it probably would have been 20 times better. Because it would have been something that they've never dealt with before. And that's the problem. And when you have people that they don't know what to do, and that's the thing too, that I've said with the Randy Orton thing, and I felt like it wasn't worth the hour and 15 minutes that it was in. It wasn't, because I would have been fine. I would have been fine. I would have been fine if they did this 15 years earlier. That's how I feel about it. I would have been fine if Randy and Edge were at their peaks where they were at in the Ruthless Aggression era, going in to the PG era, and I would have been fine with that. That would have been a nice send off. Edge could have retired, came back at WrestleMania, did a part 2 for that match, and said, "Listen, I want to have the greatest match at WrestleMania with you. I don't want to just have a last minute. I want to have it at WrestleMania, but I want to do it as my last match." And that's what it should have been like. Because I felt like that wasn't this Randy Orton Edge thing bothers me. It bothers me to the point where they just sat there and they booked it and they said, you know what? Let's just make it the greatest matchup. It's not gonna be the greatest matchup. It's not. It's not gonna be the greatest matchup to me. Because no matter what they would have done, and I feel like Randy Orton and Edge are gonna do like a swerve thing and do rated RKO one more time, because I feel like they could do that at that point. And I just feel like the same thing I felt with the Viking Raiders thing, where they were fighting the ninjas off. And I would have been perfectly fine if they just did a tag match. Cause this is why I have such, not disdain for the WWE. I'm just tired of the hokiness. And that this Randy Orton Edge thing was hokey. It was so hokey that it shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have been the last match in the card, because I felt like even with Backlash, and Backlash has always been a crazy pay per view. It's always been a great pay per view since the beginning of time. I just feel that, yo, if you're gonna do something with Edge, then if you're gonna bring Edge into something, bring him into something that should have happened at WrestleMania, not at Backlash 4 months after. That's my problem. I don't think it delivered. I don't think it gave us what we wanted from Edge and Orton. I don't think it's done. Because WWE has a potential, and I've said this word a lot, but I really mean they have the potential of doing stories that end at a certain point, or they'll continue them and it gets sold stale. That's what I felt with Raw week after week when they did this stuff with the promo stuff. Even with Christian coming out, which was fine. I would have been fine. I would have been fine if they did this 15 years earlier. That's what it should have been. It should have been like when Christian had his last match, his one more match with Randy Orton, and he had it, and he had it at SummerSlam. That should have been at WrestleMania. Because I feel like Vince is gonna do something stupid with this thing that he created this thing. And this is what I feel. I feel like he's gonna do something stupid. I feel like he's literally gonna just break something down and do it 100% over again and break it down again. That's what I feel like he does. I feel like he's just gonna keep doing it because realistically, he can't. Realistically, he can't even get a chance. This is the thing. It should have been 15 years earlier. Because like I said, guys, I'm not mad at what he did. I'm not even mad that they put this booking into it. But the booking was dumb. The booking was off. It would have been fine 15 years earlier. It would have been fine. Because I realized that WWE has a potential to make a new story at any point. And that's what they do. They make a new story. They make a story that you wouldn't believe. Not like NXT where the story's built between the weeks and the months and the pay-per-views and everything that they build. No. When it's Raw or it's main roster, they build that story for about a week, for about 2 or 3 weeks until they want to break it down. And the funny thing would have probably would have made it perfect, right? Was if Christian was there. Christian would have been there. Triple H probably would have been there to watch him. Ric Flair could have been there too. And that's the thing. You got guys who literally could have did this match 15 years earlier, dude. That's how I felt about it. They didn't do it 15 years earlier. They did it like, okay. They did it like this. That's how they did it. Lack of time, lack of preparation. And that's the thing with like I said, I'm not making this a rant video, guys. I'm just giving you my feedback on it because I'm really thinking about it now. Because I don't think it delivered. I don't think it delivered. As much as it should have, I don't think it delivered enough. It should have been better than what it was. And that's why I'm disappointed. They booked this thing at Backlash. Why would you book a match like that at Backlash? Or better yet, they could have just did it at SummerSlam. That would have worked. Because SummerSlam, it's the end of the summer. It's the biggest thing in the end of the summer. That would have worked. That way, if Randy and Edge could have went on and it could have... That's the thing. Because I feel like tonight, and I'm making a prediction, I feel like Raw tonight is going to be... Like, everything that happened last night is going to be a complete swerve. It's going to be a complete swerve. That's how it's going to feel like. It's going to feel like a complete swerve. Because they're literally going to just say, oh, you know what? You know, thanks for, Randy, or Edge, we want you in a tag team, or we want Rated RKO. That's what fans really want to see. Because this probably is going to be a complete swerve. I can feel it tonight. I can feel it. I can feel it's going to be a complete swerve because they're just going to sit there and they're literally going to say, you know what, guys? Or Bruce Pritchard, which is in charge of creative, he's going to take that story, the story they just built for that match that's been built for almost a month now. And that's the sad part. They've been building like stories that don't even make a lot of sense, that don't make any sense. Because I'll be honest with you, they did the same thing with the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders. They put them in goofy storylines that don't make any sense. That's the sad part. And they do it so religiously, like it's not even funny. That's why the ratings keep going down for Raw. Because, dude, you keep throwing these goofball stories into it. Then Randy's gonna make some Randy's gonna make a promo that said, "I beat Edge clean. I beat him. It's over. I finally got rid of the Rated R superstar." That's the problem. And Edge actually knew what he was doing because he knew how to beat him, and he beat him once, and he beat him again, and that's the sad part. Randy doesn't get that if Edge actually beat him and he threw him out, that's the problem. That's why Edge did it. And Team Rated RKO would have probably resurged at some point. They probably would have resurged. Like, that's the problem. And I feel like there's just so much going on that they do. And this is what I'm thinking they're going to do with this Edge Randy one going forward, guys. I think it's going to be another storyline that they're going to keep shoving down our throats. They're going to keep shoving it down our throats. That's how I really feel like it's going to be. Like, they keep doing it. They shove it down our throats, and then when we get sick of it, then they want to change something. Then they want to add something new. That's what they did with Roman Reigns and Lesnar, like, last 2 years. They were shoving it down our throats to show us that this dude was going to be the big dog. That's what was the sad part about it. That dude wasn't supposed to be the big dog. That dude wasn't supposed to even get a chance for Lesnar. Nah, this dude wants to get Lesnar every time. And what do a dumb rivalry with Lesnar at WrestleMania 31. And that was the problem. At WrestleMania 31, they were like, well, let's just make it Reigns, Lesnar and Reigns, but not Seth got him all. What it was fine. That was a perfect twist. That would have been a perfect twist for that. But no, they're gonna shove Randy and Edge down our throats so much because we clamor for it. That's the thing, guys. I don't need a book to tell me 1,000 things to do. I see it every day. In fact, I'm gonna take a big page out of WCW's book. Remember how they built up Goldberg, and this dude was the biggest baby face in Goldberg in WCW, and Goldberg was supposed to be this dude that shoot through people, and he beat Hogan, and he got the belt, and then when when he got too popular, they wanted Kevin Nash and Hogan and NWO to destroy his truth. That's what they're doing with Randy and Edge. They're literally destroying the storyline from the inside. Because that's what they did. That's what they did with Goldberg when he came back in 2002 to 2003. And he came back and he did his last match at WrestleMania. And the thing was, they were like trying to make this dude a big star. So when he came to WWE and he started smoking and he started beating Triple H, he got into rivalries with Jericho, he got it with Randy and Evolution and all that other stuff. That's the problem. Like when you have a storyline, and this is the thing I'm saying. This is the thing I'm saying, guys. It's gonna be a swerve tonight. It's gonna be a mega swerve, but I'll talk about that in my Raw predictions. But anyway, guys, like I said, the Randy Orton Edge match didn't deliver to me. You guys can listen to the video 1,000 times. Like I said, I didn't like it. I loved the match itself. It was a good idea, but everything written down on paper doesn't really come out when it with WWE. It doesn't come out on the screen with WWE. And I'm sorry, I'm like I said, I know you guys listen to my words like gospel, but I'm being honest with you. This match should have been done way earlier. But anyway, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Peace.